Okay, this is my PowerPoint. I need to sit. I cannot stand for so long. Okay, I'm from the library. I'm the faculty liaison librarian for you guys. So later on, even after today's sharing, if you have any question related to research, any question related to database or how to look for information, you can contact me for help. Okay, so let's have a look at today's sharing. First, I want to show you a video which is about the library because I'm not sure whether you have chance to visit or not. So let's have a quick look.
The Chinese University of Hong Kong Library consists of 7 libraries. The University Library, Zhongqi College Elizabeth Loosemore Library, New Asia College Tianmu Library, United College Wuchong Library, Liping Medical Library, Architecture Library, and Li Kuowei Law Library. The library has a digital scholarship lab, the learning garden, and makerspace to support innovative learning. Special collections consist of rare books and other print and digital collections. 24-hour study facilities and computing and printing facilities are available. Use the self-check machines for borrowing the library materials. Library e-resources can be accessed anywhere, anytime. You can search your course materials on the reading list, browse library subscribed databases, and the CUHK digital collections. You can find all library resources and the most updated library information on the library website. Want to know more? Please join our library workshops and activities, or contact your faculty liaison librarians or library staff for further assistance.
So this is our library. As mentioned in the video, we have altogether 7 libraries, and all our library are subject-based. So in different library, we will have different type and sources of material and according to their subjects. So for you guys, material related to you guys will be stored in the university library, okay? And I hope after today's session, you will know more how to identify the resources that is related to you, and I'm going to share some of the searching tips with you today, okay? And so first thing first, you might want to know how many items you can want to borrow, okay? For each of you postgraduate students, you can borrow up to 200 at a time. So it should be enough, okay? And the initial loan period is 120 days, and if there's no one wanting to get the book that you're having, then you can keep holding the item for up to unlimited until you leave the university. Okay, so you can keep the item as long as no other one want the same. Okay, and to do renewal with us, you just need to go to our website and click on your library record, then you can do the renewal. You don't need to come to the library. And apart from getting book from the CUHK library, if there is any book that is not available from us, you can also use this HKLL Hong Kong All service. Using this service, you can get all the book from other university. Okay, if they have it, then we can help get it, and then we'll send an email to you and let you know that the book is now with us. Then you can just come to the library to get this. Normally, it will take up to 4 or 5 working days, and this is free. Okay, you don't need to take picture of this. I can send the PowerPoint to Sue. And apart from that, Hong Kong All is for you to get book that we don't have. We also have a service called Interlibrary Loan and Document Delivery (ILL). This is for you to get items like map, other article, journal, or other items. Okay, if we cannot find it from Hong Kong, then you can use this ILL service, submit your request to us, then we will help you to search around the world, okay, for the item. If like a university in the US, they have that article that you want and they have the soft copy, then we will then directly send it to you in PDF format. Otherwise, we will help you to ship the item to you. Okay, and every postgraduate student will have a free quota of 100, so you can get 100 items for free. And afterward, we will have a charge on you for like $60 per piece. Okay. Apart from that, you guys can also apply for a Juliet library card. This library card is free for you to apply, and after you get this card, you can then go visit and use other university library resources. You can get into the library. Maybe you're living closer to the Kowloon side, then you can go to the City U Library, or the Hong Kong side, then you can go to the University of Hong Kong Library. So you can submit it online and it's free. And this is the library homepage, and this box is the search box that I'm going to show you how to use it better. Because nowadays, most of the material we have, apart from print book, like the old days, we have a lot of material that's in electronic format. So if you need to do research, if you come to the library, just walk in the bookshelf, then you might miss out a lot of things that is electronic because it is in the cloud, so you cannot see that. So the best place for you to start your research is visit our website and use this library search box. Apart from the library search, in here you can also check your library record and then do your renewal here. And you can book room with us, because sometimes you might need a space or place to do group discussion, then you can book a room with us. Every library that we have in the campus, no matter the CC library or the upper campus one, they all have the group study room that you can book. Okay, just book it here. And this is the library opening hour. For term day, from Monday to Friday, we will open from 8:20 to 10 o'clock. And afterward, you can still visit some of the 24-hour opening facilities. Like the university library, we will have the learning garden. It opens 24 hours. And in the upper campus, we also have the UC library and NA, they have the late reading room that is also 24 hours. And in the lower campus, in CC, we have the late reading room as well. Okay, so you can go there and use it. So any question about the basic things? No? Good. Okay, if you don't, then I'm going to jump into this one. Because I want to first make sure you all understand this concept, then I'm going to talk more about how to make use of it in the library search. I have 3 terms here: article, journal, and database. Any idea what they are? Most of you will know, right? Because you're a postgraduate student already. So articles is a piece of paper that written by some researcher about their research finding. And after they have written their article, they will then submit it to a journal, right, to get it published. So a journal is like an academic magazine. And afterward, that is in the old days. But nowadays, a lot of big publishers, they will buy a lot of journal, like 4,000 to 5,000 journal, and then group it into a database and then put it online. So when we remember database, it's just a group of journal putting in one space. But then I want to draw your attention to the term peer review. Okay? Peer review journal are those journals that is with better quality because a group of specialty people, they will gather around and judge whether a piece of paper is good enough to put into the journal. So later on, when you do research, you might have a lot of research results coming out. Right? So you can try filter out the result to focusing on those that is peer review. Okay? So a typical piece of journal, then you'll see the title, author. This part is the abstract, that is the summary of the article, right? And then the body, main body. And at the end, you will see a reference list like this. And for you guys, I believe when you write your paper, you need to use the APA citation style, right? And next Friday, you will see Doris again, because then I will share with you a bit on APA and some of the tips, okay? And I'll also share with you the two tools that we have, which the first one is EndNote, then the second one is RefWork, which is going to help make reference for you, okay? And these are some of the journal, and we will then bound it into this bound volume if we have a dozen of those. And here is a typical reading list that you might see, okay? Like this first one, if you see this item in your reading list, do you know that what your teacher wants you to read? Yes, it's a book, right? And the title of the book is The Hotel Management and Operation, because you can see the author, publication date, title, and the edition details here. Is it like this? How about like this? Like this. It's easier. And then this one. How about this one? What? Chapter? Yes, thank you. This one is a book chapter, because you will see the IN here, right? That means your teacher wants you to read this book, Helping Students with Learning Difficulties. But in this book, this particular chapter, Special Education in Crisis. So this is important, because if you type the chapter title and then click search, you might not be able to find it. Okay, you need to know the book title. And this one? This is an article. You have the journal title and article. And if you're in the library search, if you want to search for a particular article, you need to enter the article title. But if you want to search for a journal, you can search under periodicals. Okay. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration to you. Let's say if I want to search for this title, then I just need to type in the title, because I know that this one is a book, right? So I just select this book here and then click search. Then you will see this first search result is the one I want, and you will find that the library have two versions of it. The first one is hard copy. Okay. Then we'll just need to click the title, then you'll be able to see the details of this item. Then can you tell me, where can you get this book? Yes, University Library, but which floor? We have 4 floors in the library. Yes, click locate and then check and make sure you have this call number, because every book, they will have a white sticker in it, and then you can see the call number is on the 4th floor. Okay, so this is how you get the book. So can you get the book now? Are you sure? No, you cannot get the book, because the book is unknown, yes. So what can you do? You can log into your library account. Oh, it's your account. You can log into your account, and the first thing you can do is you can click this request button. Okay, you can click request and then tell the system where you want to collect the book, and then place your request. Then we will, the library will inform whoever holding the book when they finish with the 120-day initial loan period, then they will have to return it to us. Or you can try this Hong Kong All Service here that we just mentioned to check to see whether the item is available in other university library, and they are actually available in PolyU and CityU. Okay, then you can just click the Hong Kong All Request. Again, tell the system where you want to get it from. Okay, then we will do the rest, and when the book arrives, we will then contact you. Okay, so quick and easy and simple. But if for this case, since they have the ebook already, then you don't need to go to the print one, right? You can just directly click on the ebook, and then click this link to open the ebook. Okay, for most of the ebook, you'll be able to print out part of it, and you can download a bit of it. But some, they will allow you to print up to 60 pages. Okay, and some they will allow you to download the whole book and then keep it for 2 to 3 days. But it all depends on different publisher. And one thing you need to be careful is sometimes when students contact me, will tell Doris that I cannot open a book. Is it some error or what? Then I'll say, can you please check under the view it link here? There is the licensing agreement. You can click on it. For this title, you will see the library will have the unlimited concurrent user. That means at the same time, you can have like 1 million or infinitive people going to read the same book. But for some book, we might have just one user ID. Then only one people can read it at a time. Okay, so not to worry if you cannot open the books. Just check the license. Maybe someone is just using it. Okay. So very good. Now I want to show you one more example. Actually, it's like this. For doing article search, it's about the same. You just type the keyword, or you can paste the whole article here and select an article search. Then you should be able to get the article that you want. And to open a piece of article, just go under to view it, then open it, then you should be able to read the article. And most of it, they will allow you to download into PDF formats. Okay. In the class before, I thought you guys will have your notebook with you, so I have set some hands-on, but since you don't have here, we'll just skip it, okay? The hands-on practices, I want you to search for this particular article because I want to show you this. Actually, this time I want you to search for this 2 journal using the periodical search is because for a journal, sometimes the library might not have the print copy. So for journal, you can type in the journal name here. And then this is not a book, this is not an article, this is a journal search, right? So you have to use the periodical tab here. And then you will see for that particular journal, the library have both the e and the print. Then which one should you go for? Then it all depends, okay? Why? Because when you click on the print one, you will see the coverage that we have is from 1982. But for the print copy, the middle part, we are missing it. So from 2002 and 2017, we don't have the print copy. So if you need those issues, then you better go to the e-journal. For the e-journal, okay, you can see we will label the coverage here. Okay, so when you do a journal search and you don't know whether to read the print or the e one, then you better check what coverage do you want. Okay, then you will know which one you should get into. Okay. Just want to show you one more features in here before we move on. Is this one. In the library search, sometimes when you're doing your search, you might not able, like let's say you have a paper to finish, okay? You start your search, but I know you won't finish your research in one day, right? You might start it today and come back to it maybe tomorrow or the other day. So the nice thing is you can log into your library account, okay? If you have logged into your account, then after you do the search, you can save your query so that you can come back to it later. Or you can click this pin button to add this article to your own account, okay? Then later on, you can always come back to it. When you're in a rush, you just pin all of those that you think is useful, and then later on, just come back to it, okay? Any questions so far? So now you know that some of the basic right that you can have as a postgraduate student. Let's start to look at some searching tips like this one. Let's say, okay, you are working in a tourism company and your supervisor asking you to write a report like this. Can you identify the trends in sustainable tourism in Asia? Okay, you have a report with this topic that you need to write something on. So you need to do research, right? Okay, you need to look for information to support your argument to help you finish the paper. So what will you do? Yeah, so we will go Google search it. And wow, you're so lucky because you find so many good results. But then I know you guys are very hardworking, but you weren't able to finish so many pages of results, right? So our advice is Google is very powerful. It's good, it's free, but still the library get a lot of free resources as well. So you better come to the library. Because if you just do Google search without thinking carefully, you don't know this time what are you looking for. Are you looking for an encyclopedia? Because encyclopedias can give you a lot of background information. Especially when you begin writing your paper, you might need to define something, right? When you need to define something, maybe encyclopedia is better than Google. Okay? I know people like using Wikipedia to give definition, but this is not professional, right? So maybe you can think of encyclopedia, and then book and journal, and government publication and e-books and statistics will give you figure to support your argument. So they are good sources as well. And of course, newspaper is good. I just want to remind you, when you use newspaper or magazine, we will classify them as popular source, but we generally support students to base their research on more scholarly source, because those scholarly sources are written by experts in that field, and they are written by scholar. They will have a reference list clearly listed out for you so that you can refer to. It's trustworthy, and the content and quality is more professional. So let's say now you need to write this report. This might be one of the research framework or the way to do research of thinking that most people will do. That is, they have a question in their mind, they have to write a research report on sustainable tourism. Then they will conduct a search, okay? Then they will choose the resources they want, okay? Then they do their search, and when they get the result, they look into it. And if they are not happy with the result, they will start to construct another search statement, key in another keyword into Google or Baidu, right? Until they get their answer, okay? So in this typical framework, one very important stage is you need to construct a good search statement. Okay? You need to think of some good keyword to type in. Because when you're doing research in Baidu, in Google, you're actually talking to a machine. So you need to figure out a good search statement in order to get a good result. So we have 4 steps here. First, you need to identify the concept, major concept, and then think of some synonym, and then use Boolean operators to net the search term in the preferred order. So let's go back to our example here. If you need to identify the major concept in the question, I have highlighted 3. The word trends, the word sustainable tourism, the word Asia. So apart from simply typing in trend, sustainable tourism, you can first try to sit down and think about, is there any other related terms that is with similar meanings, or you can use when you type in your search, okay? I have here some suggestions. For example, for sustainable tourism, you might also use sustainable travel, sustainable tourist. Because when we think of the term, we need to think what those researchers, a scholar, will think, because they are the people who write the paper. If we cannot think like them, then we may not able to figure out good keywords. And of course, you can use this kind of and or not to support your argument. Like if you want to have narrow result, you use the and. If you want to have a border result, you use the or. If you want to have a very specific result, you can use not. And you can use the paraphrase to help you net the search term together. And in the library search, you can use a question mark to represent one keyword, like woman and women. Okay, you type in W-O question mark N and then click search. The library search engine will get everything that's covered both women and women. And you can use the star to make it at the end like T-O-U-R star, then it will help you to get everything, tourist, tourist, and tourism. Okay. And so for this simple question, you might develop a search statement like this one. Tour, and then sing, and then or, travel, and sustain. Okay, similar like this. But one thing I want to remind you is in the library search, when you are using those Boolean operator, you need to use the uppercase, okay? So the and or not, you need to make it into uppercase. And one of the things that you might consider is, for example, in this question, we mentioned about sustainable tourism, right? If I just type in sustainable tourism and then click search, let's have a look at the number of results. Okay, it's quite large, right? Still too much. So you won't have time to browse through the list. So one quick thing you can do is use a double quotation mark. Okay, use a double quotation mark to wrap around your search term to make it a phrase search. So the only result have the 2 words side by side will pop up. Okay, and then remember we talked about the concept peer review. Okay, in the library search you can filter out and only look at peer reviewed journal as well. Okay, and because you guys are studying like not history, so of course you can use the publication date to help you. Okay, to help refine your search. And then here's still a lot. Then you can use the and or not to help you. Okay, it's just like this. But in case you are facing with a situation like you cannot find much information related to your search topic may be very special, then you can make use of this button. Expand my search, because by default the library search will give you full text articles. Okay, but if you click this one, then our search result will also cover articles that we might only have the abstract. Okay, then not to worry. If you find an article that we only have abstract but you think is related, then of course you can use the interlibrary loan service that we just mentioned, right? And then we can help you to search for it around the world. Okay, And one more thing is you can make use of the advanced search button when you do a search, okay? And in the advanced search button, it will allow you to search like with different fields like the author, like the ISBN, like the subject, like the type of content, etc. So it gives you more control, okay? You won't have time, you won't have the machine, so you cannot do this. But we just quickly go over some of the concepts, like the peer review, some of the services like Hong Kong OIL, and all that, and you have to log in to save your search, okay? I want to move to the second part now, which is database highlight. Database that is related to you. By default, when you go to the library page, you will land on this library search tabs. But if you need to do a search in a particular database, then you need to use the second database tab, okay? By using the library search tabs to search for book and article, it will help you to get like 80% of what we have. What will be that 20%? Those might include some of the news database that we have. Then you won't be able to search it under library search. You need to go into a particular database to search for it. Like we have some map database, like we have some database that covering some video, some image, some sound record, DVD, etc. Then you are able to search over there. So some situation is you might need to use database tabs to search. And if you do database search, you can just directly type the name here, or you can use the title search, subject search, or type search. Okay, because we have subscribed to over 900 databases. Okay, it's quite a lot. So we helped you to put it under different subjects. So let's say if I click subject, then you can see maybe related to you is hotel and tourism management, or things related to you may include geography. Okay, let's say just click into it. Then you will see we have highlighted some in yellow that is maybe best matched to you, and some other database that we think is useful. But tonight, I want to highlight some for you here. I want to look into some article database, some dissertation database, some e-news, some economic and social data, and some image and sound database for you. Okay. The first category is the major database highlight. I'll include this field here. Okay. GeoBase, hospitality and tourism complete, and then the business source. Let's go into the GeoBase. Okay. The GeoBase is this one. Okay. It's listed under the best bet of the subject geography. This database is provided by Ovid. Okay. Their search interface is like this, and I will always encourage you to begin your search under the advanced search. You can then paste your search term there, and you can do things like limit it to, let's say, an article search. You only want full text, okay? And when you click the search, they will give you things like suggested search heading. So if you want, you can include the suggestion to continue your search. And then some of you may say, oh, there's nothing happening. Why is it like this? Okay. But if you look closer, you will see actually they will give you your search history here, telling you how many search results you're having. And if you roll down, you will see your search result. Okay. And on the left-hand side, they will have some search field for you to further refine your search. And here in the middle part is your search result. Let's say if this second one is what I want, then I can click under the title, or I can click this full text to open the full text directly. Page not found. Things like this do happen. We just click here again, okay, and then try again. Anyway, if things happen like this, not to worry, then always remember, we do have the interlibrary loan service. If you cannot find it here, we'll help you find it somewhere else. Or you can just copy the title and then go to the library page to do a direct article search and see if this same articles is available in another database. Okay? So you will still have it somehow. So no need to worry. See? You still have the same article. And database like this is very powerful because they will give you like some description or suggested keyword. Because for most of us, our mother tongue is not English, right? We're Chinese, and we cannot think of some of those professional terms that professors use. So they will give you suggested term, then you can click on it to expand your search to look for article that is related to the same search area. Okay, so this is just one database, the Ovid one. What I want to show you now is the hospitality and tourism complete, and then the business source complete. Okay, it's actually here. You can go to database tab here, type in the name here. This time we try type in hospitality and management or just hospitality. Then you will find it, the first one. Click on it. It will then bring you to the database, and the database is provided by EBSCO, which is a very big database provider. Okay. Once you're in it, you can actually click the link, choose databases, because that EBSCO is very big. So inside they have other database that is related as well. For example, if your search is related to a little bit related to business, then you can click the business source complete. If you want some more result, you might also consider the academic search ultimate, which is a multidisciplinary search database. Okay, happy with what you have. You might also include a green file if your search is related to more environmental thing. Okay, then just click OK. Then apart from searching hospitality and tourism complete, you will at the same time searching the other database that you just select. Okay, then just click key in your search term. For example, my search term is tourism. The database like this will allow you to do a search, like search under author, title, subject, but I would suggest to do an abstract search, because if your search term appear in the abstract, then the result will be more relevant, and you can do a search that is full text and only limit to the peer-reviewed result. And then, so they will show you your search history here. This is very important later on when you need to do a literature review, right? You can search in the keyword, and then you will see how many results they're having. On the left, you can use refined result to help you. And let's say I like this article, just click onto it. Then nice feature in here include, first, you can click this find similar result. Okay, it's just like in Taobao. when you're shopping, they'll give you suggestion. Okay, this is very important because somehow some student got stuck and said, I can only find one result. Then not to worry, just click on this find similar. They will help you to link. And again, they will have suggested subject terms. And something else is they will include a button called cite. Okay, then they will give you this article details under different citation style. For example, you guys are using APA, right? Then you can just copy and then place it into your document. Okay. And also, we have talked about things like print, email, and save. They also have it as well. And sometimes students may have question like, can I save the result and store it here? Actually, you can. If you use this function, sign in, okay? You can freely create an account with AppsCode. With an account, okay, just sign up an account. Then you can have more function, like you can create a search alert, and so that later on, if new article coming that's related to your search topic, they will alert you. And you can save some of the things in here, okay? So if you want more features, then you can log into the account. And you don't necessarily need to use your university account, I think, but it's the best. And then, one more database that you might want to use is this one, 中國期刊全文數據庫. If you ever need to search for Chinese article, this is the database you should go for. It's actually located here. Okay. Once you click this database tab, you can either choose to type in the name direct here, or you can say, let's say I click this type button, or other button is the same. You will see on the right-hand side, we have actually listed some major web gateway here. Then we have this one here, 中國期刊全文數據庫. So this on the right-hand side here. And once you're in, under this particular database, they have some different products, like the Chinese yearbook, 連鑑數據庫, which can give you the major yearbooks that's published in China. And then the 全文數據庫 is here. Okay. In the 全文數據庫, you can download the result to read it in HTML and PDF, but they will recommend you to install the CAJ builder to view it better. Okay. Okay, install this viewer. So let's say if I want to get into this one. So this is their database. 係咪都試過啦？做咩咁興奮？你見到呢個？有什麼特別的嗎？什麼？哦，你看過了哦，好，那現在再看了。好，那我就說 if you get in, you better start with advanced search. Okay, get in here. You can, of course, search by the 主題. Again, you can use the abstract search. Okay, here, put in your search term, and then click search. The nice thing about this database is, apart from the left-hand side filter out things, you can have a look here. You can sort your result by how many times a particular article has been downloaded or cited. Okay, generally speaking, we will say if an article has been downloaded many times, or if an article has been cited many times, then maybe the article is maybe it's not very good, but it will be a very influential paper. Okay, we may not be able to judge whether it's a good quality or what, but it will be a very influential paper that it might worth to have a look. You can then click into it. Again, as mentioned, you have a few formats to read the article, and they will give you, like here, they will list out how many times this article has been cited, and then how many references they have used, and they have the links here that you can further click onto to read the article. Okay, using this is like a chain. Okay, you can see what he used and which people used his or her article. So it can help you again to expand your search. So before, this is the break time for 10 minutes, and I should let you try out. But since you don't have a notebook with you, do you still want to break, or do you want to carry on and leave early? Break. Then you can have a break and the rest can go. Okay, we have a quick break for 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. And if question, you can come back and ask me. Okay, we'll have a quick break. And for those of you who have a notebook with you, maybe you can try to search with this term in those databases that we just been through. 5 minutes. So see you at 7:25. Oh no, 28.有可能係唔鬼咗攞唔到啊！試多次先。你有冇攞？你有冇開呢個嚟？佢俾我入咗去喎。我用一陣，應該唔係，應該係我嚟嘅。 你冇用過呢個，應該就係我哋啦。佢哋可以裝個亞冧埋個卡咯，咁就可以用到一部分，但係就唔係全部咯。佢或者裝亞冧埋卡就翻去圖書館用圖書館啲機就全部都用得到。翻唔到學校做裝亞冧埋卡就用 part 就得一部分。要錢，要錢啊！攞呢個嗱，你睇下呢度。哇，幾百蚊嘅都要，係咯。但係佢如果佢響離開咗又唔喺香港啲就麻煩啲咯。因為亞冧埋咧，即係個錢咧就係咁咯。你裝咗張卡咧就可以入嚟就用晒所有啦，我哋借書啦。但係如果你係想係亞冧埋咁，你就裝咗嗰個之後咧，再 on top 咧就要加個叫做 digital library service， 咁又再要錢咯。咁就allow你用一部分，因為係嗰個唔係我哋想俾你係嗰啲 database provider，佢未必肯俾埋嗰啲亞冧埋呢個身份，所以就會跟呢個咧就。Okay, let's begin again so that we can all go home earlier. Okay. When you do a search in the library, somehow in some of the database you might see a button like this. Okay, if you see a button like this, that means in that particular database, they do not have the full text. So in a situation like this, then do not worry. Try to look for this button. Find it at CHK Library, and then click on it. Then it will help you to do a search across all the 900 databases that we have to see whether we still have the article. Okay. After you click on it, then you should be able to find that we will have the article somehow in other platform. Okay. So we're finished talking about article database. I want to introduce to you some of the economic and social data, because when you write your paper, I know that you will need some macro data to support it. Here are some of the highlighted databases I'm going to demonstrate to you. And the first one I want to look at with you is this platform. It is called Passport. Okay, this is a database that will give you different industry reports. Okay, maybe the one that is related to you will be under industry and then travel. Okay, inside you will then land on a page like this. They will have some statistics like this one, the latest information related to travel, tourism, and COVID. They will have like information like the global tractor numbers, the recovery index of the quarter 2022 in a map format. And of course, you can have the data download into different format. Okay, and they will have different reports and reading that you might want to refer to, like this one, for example, travel intermediates in Asia, that is the travel agency thing. Okay, the report is quite up to date, as you can see. And a sample report like this one will include some basic graph and then a chunk of text to support the argument. So this is a very good report that you can read. And they will have country reports as well, covering the different tourism status in some of the countries. Okay. So if you have time, or if you want to write about some tourism information in a particular country, you can go and check out their country reports. And like they also have some quick report like this one, travel transportation in Asia Pacific. Okay. And in each report, you can use the material and then use it on your paper. Just need to give clear citation. Okay. And sample paper might also include like travel in Hong Kong and China as well. They will give you the basic background, the economic financial trade data, and then some graph and statistics to support it. And in the database, they also have statistics covering the domestic trip, inbound, outbound thing, okay, departure, expenditures. You can have all those data here. You can download it into Excel or print it out if you need to manipulate all these figures. Okay. Apart from Passport, this database Statista is also a very interesting one because it will give you market data as well as some very interesting infographic. This is a very powerful database that covers information related to 170 industry, over 150 countries. Okay, and to begin with, you can just simply type in a keyword and then click search, and then or you can directly click this statistic button and then select travel and tourism hospitality. Then you will see the pop-up page here showing you the basic information or reports they have, like the worldwide index, okay, or the hotel industry travel reports. Their report is with good quality, okay. The quality is quite good. They have over 1,000 reports covering a lot of areas. And this part is the infographic that they are very strong on. You can type in your search term, and these are some of the infographic figures, the graph that I got when I prepared for this session. Things like American Hopeful for Travel, you can make use of this. And as long as you give clear citation, you can actually directly put it into your work, okay. So just go there, have a look, browse around so that you know that all these are available to you. Make your report more interesting. Another database that you might want to have a look is called the World Development Indicator, which is provided by the World Bank so that you can trust the data there. And I know you can get a lot of like GDP figures from the World Wide Web, right? But if you need to do country comparison, like compare the tourism information in China and Japan or America and Australia, then this is a good place because in this database, they have contained information for over like 264 countries. So you can have their data in the same source and then you can do comparison apple to apple, okay? And it's quite user-friendly. You just make use of this expand button. First, you select what country you're interested to look into, and then select series. Will cover the data that you want, and then select the time frame that you want. For example, here, I have selected I want to look at the information related to countries America and Australia, and I forgot there's Germany, maybe. And then I can ask them to give me the international tourism figures in a map format, okay? And I can also have the data in a table or in a chart format. You can just download it from their website. So this is very user-friendly. And the last one you might want to use is the 中國年鑑全民數據庫. It's also under the CNKI, that the platform we just been through, okay? So once you get into the CNKI database, okay, you can then click 年鑑導航. Then they will list out all the yearbooks that they have, well, of course, and you can then type in the search term here, okay? 旅遊, okay, use to search the title, then you can just click search, then they will give you all, okay? So those are some of the macro databases that I think will be useful for use. And as we have mentioned earlier, one source of information that supports your argument is e-news, because news will cover the latest developments. Okay, like maybe now under COVID time, you might want to know the latest traveling restriction or news on the country. Then you can click e-resources and e-news to have a look. Okay, or you can directly type in this to e-news database. The first e-news database here is called Factiva. Okay, I can go there to have a look at it together. Factiva is a database that covers over 6,500 news sources, okay? But it's mainly English focused. It does cover some Chinese news like Mingbao or like newspaper from China, but not too much, okay? Mainly it's cover Western paper, okay? Once you get into this, they will give you the news page, giving you some of the today's highlight. If you want to do a search, you can click this search and then click search builder. Then just type in your search terms and then select the search day range that you want, maybe last year or 3 months. And then you can select the source, okay? The source, you can do a search like this. Maybe I want to have a look. Maybe I don't trust the source, okay, New York Times, okay, I don't want information from here. You can click this one, okay, then they'll exclude it. Or if you like, I say, I like this Observer, then you can just click this one, okay. So you can limit what source to come and what source not to. And then just click search, have a look. On the left-hand side, okay, no result. I better change it, because I have typo in. On the left-hand side, you will see a chart like this showing you how often your search term come over a period of time. And then in the middle is your results page. Okay, then they will give you the news articles. Okay, so you can tick the article that you want, tick it, and then you can email it, print it, and save it. Okay, so this is the Factiva News Search. And because Factiva is provided by Dow Jones, a very big company, okay, they will also have this company and market profile. So if you are doing research like tourism, but more focusing on the business side, you need to look for a company information. I don't know, Traveler, is the traveling company, Travelers, then you can type in the name. They will give you basic information like the stock price, the company background, business description, etc. Okay, and then they will have the latest news related to this company. Okay, so and also the financial report, key development, etc. So this is a powerful database. And if you ever need newspaper covering the China, Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan news, then you might consider using this Wise News database. Okay, Wise News database will cover those Chinese sources. Once you get into it, you will land it on this page, giving you the today's news highlight. If you want to do a search, you need to click on this top right corner. This is the Wiser Information Portal links, okay? It will bring you to the search page so that you can search for the news that you want. But the thing is, by default, the search page will cover only today's news content. So you better change the day range to cover at least like maybe 3 months, half years, or 1 year. Okay? And again, in here, you can select the source that you want, and then you can type in the column name, source name, or author name. This will be the search result. This is the article headline, date, the newspaper name. Click on it, then you will read the article, and then your search term will be highlighted in yellow. Of course, you can email, download, and print the news out. Okay. So apart from the article database, news database, macro data database, this one will be important for you as well, because later on, if you need to write your own dissertation, you might want to refer to what other people is writing or work or further develop on their topics, right? Then you can go visit the first one, CHK Electronic Thesis and Dissertation Collection, if you want to read the CHK collection, and then the China, Taiwan, US, and UK Island. Okay, it's all here. And for the CHK one, we will have the collection covering from 1967 in PDF format, and some of the taught master course also have dissertation will be on the first floor of the university library. And the last one is the image and sound database. This one, I want to show it to you, is called DataCam. This database is quite new. And if you want to do research later, and if you need help with statistics, with like the language R, with Python, with SQL, you might need it when you need to do research and move on, okay? Then this database will be useful because this is an online data science training course. It's free for all of you, and I personally find it quite user-friendly because they are hands-on course and they are in bite size. Not too difficult, but at least if you later on, if you want to move on to do research PhD, or even for generally speaking, you want to learn one more computer skill, this is good. Like they have basic topics on Python, R, and SQL. Let's have a look. I just logged into my, if you want to find for it, just go to database and then type in the name, DataCam, then you'll see it's just here, okay? And you need, for the first time user, you need to create your own account. You just follow here, okay? And let's say if you get in, you will see your account. And then you can search for courses. Let's say if I want to go to Python, Introduction to Python, then you can start your course. to start the course is easy. Just click on it. Then you will first saw like some video clips that will show you some skill. And then after you finish the first part of video, then they will give you hands-on practice. They will have questions for you. You have to learn to write some of the coding. If you pass, then you can move on and watch the second clips. If you don't pass, they will have to ask you to like watch it again, or this is some of the exercise. Okay, so you watch the clips, do exercise, and then move on at your own pace. So you don't need to rush to learn some new skills. Okay, so I think this is useful. And this is quite expensive if you want to take other courses. So make use of it while you're with CUHK. And then I talked to you about so many resources and databases that we have, but still I know many of you prefer to use Google or Google Scholar. That is very okay. I just want to remind you when you're using Google Scholar to do, let's say, an article search, after you search for a result, you might want to have a look. For example, for this article, how many versions are they having here? Sounds about 38. Why? Because sometimes the author, like if you write a paper, you might not give it out freely, right? You might just give the early edition out. The final one, you might want to keep it yourself to submit it to a journal, right? So I will encourage you to do this setting with your own laptop. The setting is like this. Go to Google Scholar, click under the setting, okay? Then you can set the library links, Chinese University of Hong Kong, and then open WorldCat. After you do this setting, tick, tick, later on, when you do a Google Scholar search, you are also searching the library catalog together, okay? The difference is, okay, if you did the setting, let's say I'm searching under global warming, I still find this article, but they will also let me know that, CUHK Library also have this. Then you just need to click this link, then you can open the link, an article directly from the library, because the library pay for it, then the version will be the final one, okay? So this is the good thing about it. But if you are using the library machine, we have set all of it in the library machine, okay? And for all the ebook, e-database that we just mentioned, you can access it even if you're away from the campus. Let's say if you are at your home, you can still access this. Just when you click on those, you will see a purple box like this. You just need to log in with your CHK login and ID, the same login and password that you use for your email. Okay. Any question? No? Then this will be the end of my sharing tonight. But next week, I will talk about APA, things about plagiarism, things about EndNote and RefWork. If you have your own machine, you can actually have a look here. Okay, we have the EndNote and RefWork here already. So when you have time, you can just go there and have a look. Any question?
Okay, now I will start the short briefing on the dissertation. I know maybe you're already a bit tired because it's already Friday and you have been a very busy week. Okay. Sorry, wait a minute. Testing, okay. So today I will give you a short brief on the 5012 dissertation. I think Johnson also mentioned about this in the beginning. This is an elective course, and if you choose to do your dissertation, it will be very helpful for your further study. So if you plan to maybe apply for a PhD or some further researches, it's very meaningful and helpful for you to do a dissertation. And for this course, Johnson is the coordinator, and I'm the TA for this course as well. So here is a short outline for the briefing. It's very simple. So I will brief you about some major requirements, the draft timeline, and some marking schemes, and I will introduce you more workshops to support your dissertation writing. So what is a dissertation? I'm not so sure how many of you have already done a thesis in your bachelor study. If you have done a thesis before, would you mind raise up your hands? Only a few? You don't need to do a thesis in your undergraduate study? Okay, we have some students. So if you haven't done a thesis before, I think you must have a very general idea about how to do a research. So for your master study, you will need to do the research more in depth in a specific topic. And usually it will be based on your own choice or your interests. I think if you choose a topic like you are interested, it will be more easier for you to do the research because you like the topic. And basically the dissertation is an extended piece of scholarship in which, based on the in-depth interests of your own interests. And also you are expected to demonstrate ability to engage critically and analytically in the literature, based on the relevant concepts and the theories, especially what you have learned in this program. So in this master program, we offered total 8 courses, exclude dissertation. So you will have totally 8 courses. So you can think about what kind of topics or some research directions you are interested in, and you would like to pursue more about that topic as your dissertation. So generally, in your master study, you have to generate critical thinking in all your assignment writing, not only in the dissertation, but also your assignments, like your report or term paper. So which means the critical thinking is not think only one side, but 2 sides of the coin. Yeah. So also, your dissertation is analytically. So you must have a very well-structured and well-analyzed paper for your dissertation. I will introduce you more about the format later. So practically, the topic is based on your own choice, of course, and you must think about the feasibility to conduct your research, which means you have to collect the data by yourself. You need to use the first-hand data, maybe as well as the second-hand data, of course. But mainly, you need to collect the data by yourself and do the data analysis with SPSS usually. Yeah. So have you used the SPSS before? That's really good. So you will have a very general idea about how to do with all the research process. So when you choose to do a dissertation, you must think about where do you want to conduct your research, or your research object, what kind of people or which group of people you want to do the research. And usually you need to select a place or an area that you are able to access and able to collect data, do the surveys or do the questionnaires. Okay, so yeah, so if now you don't know what to do, you may need to talk as many as people. And also, Doris just introduced you a lot of ways to search for the relevant references. So it is also a very good way for you to search more about your research area or your research interests. And also, Johnson mentioned, if you did a very good work and got a very high marks in your dissertation, maybe you have the possibility to publish your dissertation with your supervisors. So here are some papers or articles that published in the past few years. Yeah, so if you do the dissertation, I believe it will definitely be a very meaningful work for your master study. Yeah, and when you collect the data, you need to follow the ethical manner. So you must, when you do the survey or the questionnaire, you must seek consent from your participants and let them know why you do this data collection and how you keep their data privacy or confidential, something like this. So basically, you need to complete a survey ethics form and submit to your supervisor. Here is a guideline link. You can check it by yourself and get familiar with the guidelines. This ethical form is actually very useful for you to form a very structure in your dissertation. It's like a self-monitoring checklist, because in this form you need to think about your objectives, like what problems you want to solve in your dissertation, and how will you do the research, like your surveys, your target research groups, something like this. Yeah. Now here is some major requirements. Actually, you can also find this in the course outline. It is already available in the Blackboard. So basically, you need to write at least 15,000 words in English, and the abstract is no more than 200 words. The style, APA style, Doris will introduce you about the APA citations next week. And structure. So in the dissertation, usually you need to include introduction. Sorry. You need to include introduction, your main body, and the conclusion. So in the introduction part, you need to indicate your objectives, your study group scope. So what kind of base concepts you will include in your study, something like this, and the rationale, why you choose the topic, any background about this topic, or any research gap, why you choose to do it, and structure of the dissertation. So for example, like the first chapter is the introduction, second chapter usually will be the literature review, third chapter will be like the methodology, and following is a data analysis, and then is a discussion, and ended with a conclusion, something like this. So here we have very important chapter is you must have a methodology chapter. No matter you have a quantitative or qualitative approach, you must have a methodology chapter, because in your dissertation, actually methodology is one of the most important part. It means how will you conduct your research, what kind of approach you will do to solve your research problems. This is very important. Actually, I have to say, if you know how to choose your methodology, you already done halfway for your dissertation. Yeah, this is very, very important. And yeah, the last part is the conclusion, which will summarize your main ideas of the dissertation. And format, you can read by yourself. Submission. So the deadline for the dissertation submission is next year on the 28th of June. Usually you need to submit the soft copy to the Berry Guide, of course, and the Blackboard. And your supervisors may require hard copies, but it depends. But you must submit all your assignments to the Berry Guide, and together with the copyright statement and the honesty declaration form. I have mentioned this on the orientation day. So what you have to do now is, if you decide to do a dissertation, you have to think about your topic. So on the 5th of November, you need to submit a proposed topic, and then we will allocate supervisor to you thereafter. But of course, if you have any preference on the supervisors, you can also indicate your first choice or your second choice when you submit the topic, and we will consider your choice. But we cannot guarantee you will have your first choice or second choice supervisor, but we will try our best, yeah. And yeah, so your confirmation about taking this course is when we receive your proposed topic. So if you decide to do your dissertation, you need to submit the proposed topic, and we will confirm your enrollment in the dissertation, okay? And yeah, here is a list of our supervisors. Actually, you have already met some of them on the orientation day. So exclude Professor Feng Tong and Professor Shen Jianfa. They will not give any lectures in this program. All the other teachers will meet them either in term 1 or term 2. Here I attached the links for each supervisor about their personal information, their research interests, their research areas or teaching areas. You can find them by yourself. And here is draft timeline for your preparations. So basically, we're in the first stage. After the briefing, you need to think about your topics if you decide to choose a dissertation. And then you need to submit on the 5th of November, and then we will assign you supervisors. After this, your supervisor will be fully in charge with your dissertation process. So you will mainly follow your requirements by your supervisors. So usually you need to submit a proposal in January and report your progress in March and do the data connection and write up your dissertation from April to June. And finally, you may have a final presentation in June. Usually, because in our program, we do not require oral defense for your dissertation. We just have a presentation within your dissertation group to your supervisors, not to the whole class. Yeah, so all the requirements is usually based on your supervisor's requirements. And you have to submit the final version on the 28th of June next year. Yeah. So any absence from the meetings with your supervisor may cause some penalties or mark deductions. And here are some marking scheme, you may cause some possible mark deduction in your dissertation. For example, like the late submission, below the word limit, and some inappropriate style or the format. You can check this after you finalize your dissertation. I will share this later to you in email or on the Blackboard, so don't worry. And we have some more workshops to go. So next Friday, Doris will give you the second library workshop on the APA style and the academic honesty. And in November, Johnson will give you the first dissertation writing workshop. And next year in March, we will have another workshop on the data analysis based on the SPSS. And of course, the library also provides many workshops related to the paper writing skills and some reference searching, something like this. You can find it by yourself. And also the Department of Statistics, because you will do the data analysis, so if you have any questions or problems, you can also consult Department of Statistics for some advice, because they are the most professional ones. Yes, of course, the English editing. You are writing the dissertation in English, so your English is very important. So here are some channels for you to reference. The first one is the Independent Learning Center in CUHK. They also include this website in the orientation PPT. And here also, they also have some workshops on the paper writings and some both English and Chinese and so on. You can check it by yourself. And yes, that's it. Do you have any questions? For your topics, you can just have a very general idea about your topics or your research directions, because after you submit your topic, it's just a tentative one. After you submit to the supervisors, they will guide you to specify your topic and narrow down your research areas. So you can change your topic, but I suggest not change the research directions. Yeah, so it'll be easier for you to work on in the future. Okay, so any more questions? Yes? Maybe you can ask Doris. Yeah. Yes? Yes. If you decide to take the dissertation this year, you have to follow the schedule this year. But if you decide to take next year, you can do it next year. Yes. Yeah. But the submission deadline may be different, but it's around the end of June every year. Yeah. Any more questions? No more questions? Okay, so you have about 2 months to think about whether you will take this dissertation or not. Actually, your master study is quite limited. It's less than 1 year, actually. So you just have a few months to go. So use the time wisely and have a nice weekend. Okay? See you.